be seeing this champion at all here in this series. Corky first.
Wait. So you immediately go for the Gragas and the Camille, right? Like if you're Nova Esports.
Yeah.
And then that's
there.
GG. And that's GG.
It's just GG. On to the next game.
I'm sorry. This is not TFT. Execution is a premium here. Oh, Nova Esports would rather go for the Ornn. Okay, so it's a toss-up, right? So who has more value now, Gragas or the Ornn? And to me, by selecting Ornn here, it's not giving away anything because this Camille can still be played by Long. This Ornn can still be played in the top lane for Yutze. Although I have to say, Camille in the jungle does not give enough or as big of a threat than as the Fiora, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Because again, when it comes to damage, Camille doesn't really have that, especially in the jungle.
J-Team going for a lot of engages once more. Really good scaling as well, and lots of ways to manipulate a team fight. But again, this is Nova Esports that we're talking about. They have a lot of ways to counter, and they managed to do it in game number 1. Ziggs here for remake. That means that Neon will go for an ADC here.
It's either that or actually with the 3 picks that they have, they can play almost anything. Even play by playing Gallia in the mid lane, it's actually acceptable because you have a Camille and the Ziggs already, which means that your team fights would never be easier. It's just a very easy to execute draft. You just imagine this, You have Hextech Ultimatum, you have Call of the Forge God, so you have 2 ways to engage onto the back line. So you can only feel for Getsy, although his win rate on the Quirky, I believe it's at a relatively high rate, right? He was over 90%. He was 100% for a good chunk of the season, right? Like for I think he had like a 10-win streak on the champion. That's the reason why it's heavily prioritized by J-Team. But the fact remains, it's the Camille.
It's still Camille. They have the Ornn. They're pretty much going with a wombo combo right now. Fortunately, J-Team is just making sure that even if there's no Wukong, Neon won't ever get this Yasuo. Because that is just a scary risk here for J-Team if ever they let this champion be. But Nova Esports will, again, invest on the Swain in which Neon a while ago was just so comfortable. And Xin Zhao is the way to go here.
For Nova, right? Like that's the perfect AD champion because they need some damage and they need AD, and Xin Zhao is both of those two. Does have both of them. And so now this draft of Nova Esports, although that Olaf will be a little bit of a resistance to the lineup of Nova just because. No, never mind. Hextech Ultimatum can just lock down this Olaf. And so now, like, again, the same problem persists. Like Neon, the only thing that Neon has to do here is to stand at the middle of the team fight. Go on Demonic Ascension and we won't notice him at all, right? Because again, Nova Esports will find a way to go into the back line. Very immobile with the Varus, very immobile with the Quirky. The only positive thing that I can, I can see here on JT's side is that if they will ever get an advantage, then these 2 backline hitters will be able to do enough damage to dissuade any dive attempt on towards them. But if Nova Esports turns this game into an equal ground by 5 minutes, by 10 minutes, say goodnight to your backline.
Yeah, through the pokes, right? Through disengage, through kiting, maybe J-Team can win. But similar to game number 1, if Nova Esports is able to penetrate the backline, if they're able to engage, then there's no escape. Even if they have the Olaf, yeah, sure, he can resist. He can resist all those crowd controls, but what about the rest? Since Nova Esports has the Hextech Ultimatum, they have the Crescent Sweep, they have the Swain that will just stand in the middle, they have the Call of the Forge God, and they have the Mega Inferno Bomb. Are they gonna risk going through that all? No. It's just gonna be 0711 alone going in front.
We still see the avenue or the angle for J-Team to win this. It is still very possible with all the pokes with the explosive cast as well to be able to disengage and break the formation of Nova Esports immediately. But it's easier said than done. Looks like that we will have a very cheeky start here coming from J-Team, and they will be spotting Long here. A 2v2 is going to happen.
Yeah, DY though is taking too much damage, so it's long.
Wait.
0711 might actually find
is that?
first blood, and he will with the undertow.
Yeah.
Perfect start here for JT.
For sure. Olaf is one of the best level 1 junglers that we have in the game. Just because if he ever goes down in health, more AD or more damage is expected from him. And so now this could turn out into a 3 buff start. This is what we were saying, right? If J-Team ever finds a way to win the early game, then it will give them some leeway to win this game. Because again, just looking at the draft, it still is favored to Nova Esports.
I just took the tag there. Stop! On the Nautilus
It's
a while ago of Yami. Stop! And Nova Esports though, not stopping with a very own invade here of Long. Don will spot him out, and he should be
level 3?
having follow-up as well.
Yeah,
from
he doesn't have
Yeti.
flash.
Oh no. That's
dead.
double trouble.
Yep, and now DY might die. Okay, still has a flash. That is long.
This is weird.
Oh man, like this is definitely going to be very scary for Long because he also made it. He also gave a problem to Yitze, right? We have to remember that Yitze would be facing against Don 128 later, down the drain. And
Yeah.
if this Renekton is ahead by, by 1 kill, that's actually enough to get the upper hand against the Camille. Oh, level 3 damage burst of a Renekton has to be respected always.
J-Team getting at least 1,000 gold lead just because of that mishap. Wow. Wow. 100.
I thought. Wait. I thought. Wait. Okay. Yeah, I know for a fact that you have some records with you, but I'm pretty certain that Corky.
I didn't
the
even
win rate.
know.
Yeah, I know for a fact that it was at a very high mark, but I remember that Yetzi's win rate already got ended, or the win streak already got ended. But
Yeah.
Can you check?
All right, that is something that we have to check for ourselves as well, because that is just outstanding.
Yeah.
10 wins, 0 losses. That is the highest win rate, if ever, here in the full tournament.
Yeah, I mean you cannot go 110% win rate, right?
Yeah.
100% win rate.
10
will
games, man.
Oh yeah,
10
for sure.
games.
But we'll have to double check because I remember there was a game that Yetzi lost on the Quirky. I could be wrong though, but the fact remains Yetzi is a beast on this champion. We talked about this, right? We know that this is definitely going to be a point of contention for Nova and J Team. And you look at Long, he's just easily getting bullied right now with the early game plan of J Team. And again, this is the coach's doing. This is J-Team just recognizing that Nova Esports will start this way, and immediately that early game invade really did put a dent onto the game plan of Nova Esports.
Yeah, this is the first time that Long needed assistance in the jungle.
For sure.
And J-Team's the first one to do it as well against them. Very good sign here for J-Team, especially in the adaptation. We talked about them needing this sort of advantage for them to be able to have a chance in winning against Nova Esports, and they're getting it right now.
True. Like, this is the only way for them to win with this very immobile backline. That is for them to net necessary for a good chunk of the advantage, and this 2K at 4 minutes is actually decent enough. Like, we are also looking at Don 128 still favoring the Black Cleaver, playing for the team, recognizing that they have enough AD, right? They have enough damage, and so what he needs to do is to play for the team first before going for the ultimate dueling item in the blade of the Ruined King. Yet he does not have enough mana to really threaten a kill, but Honey Fruit will be there to solve that small problem. Again, we're closing into the 5-minute mark, which we have to remember that Nova Esports and J-Team had a 1-for-1 right, earlier during game number 1.
Yeah, because now we only have one question. Is the blunder of Long a while ago will affect his performance in securing these objectives for Nova Esports? Because right now, J-Team has more confidence that they can actually take him down.
Yeah, this is a time where Nova Esports has to revisit their priorities, and it is safer for them to not contest at all, right? I mean, you look at the pathing of Long, they're going to gift this Infernal Dragon, but the tempo really is like, oh, good job by Yitze. Already chunking down the Rift Herald, already helping Long. However,
Ooh, Ignite is sticking as well.
solo kill.
Oh man, big kill by Dawn 128. Yami gonna be the first target though here in this fight as Long desperately trying to secure it.
No.
That's not the way to go. That's like 2 kills and the free objective double as well secured here by J-Team.
Yeah, 0-3 and 0 start for Long. As good as he was on game number 1, J-Team was able to find the proper start to control the beast in the jungle. And now you are also seeing Dawn 128. Oh, wait, Yami, that's going to game 3. All right,
yeah.
for sure, right? Okay, that's not intended for game number 2. But we look into that replay, and again, Yitze starting this is a risk by itself, because we have to remember that the Rift Herald's damage is also quite decent at the early stages of the game. Long still going for the engage and desperately going for the 1-for-1. Did meet his demise, the burst coming from J-Team, 3 members ready to really punish him. It does look like that this lead is enough already for J-Team to have a very comfortable game number 2.
Yeah, we got too excited a while ago seeing the composition of Nova eSports, and then this happened to them. J-Team taking full control, getting everything right now across the board, and nothing that Long and Nova eSports can do, at least as of the moment, because right now the tempo is on J-Team. Nova eSports has to find a way to make J-Team make a big mistake so that they can capitalize and slowly turn back.
Yeah, that will only be the way for Nova eSports to come back into this. It has to be J-Team committing a huge blunder that will be a massive swing towards Nova eSports. And again, just looking at the draft alone, I still believe that Nova eSports had a better draft. And if given the opportunity to play the same draft once again, if you're Nova eSports, they would be gladly doing it, right? And it just so happened that the start was abysmal for them, for a good reason.
Oh, this time, okay, it's gonna be fine here. Long was.
I mean, you look at Long, right? Exactly. He was there for a decade now.
Yeah. J-Team is happily farming across the map right now, getting more gold, making sure that every single member is ahead by the others here on Nova eSports. 4 members. That's 4.
And the Yetzi being the most the most gold resourced or gold invested champion, it's actually a good sign for J-Team, because we all know that Yetzi capitalizes on every bit of gold to dish out every necessary damage coming in the lineup of J-Team. And now Nova eSports like slowly crumbling down. It's just so hard to play from this very big hole. All you can really hope for is that J-Team will start the Baron, get over eager, and gift a team fight win to Nova eSports, or better yet, similar to what happened yesterday, ThunderTop versus KBG. The Nexus overstay by ThunderTop that resulted into their Game 7 loss. I don't mean to trigger the fans of ThunderTop, but that really is what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Lots of hearts got broken yesterday in that match.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
It's something with teams right now.
It's a very heavy discussion for all the ThunderTop fans out there. Again, this is just a methodical approach coming from J-Team, and this is where they are good at, Every single time that you give them a lead, they will be planting those vision inside your jungle, especially knowing that this is the Infernal map. It's a lot easier to control the jungle quadrants of your opponents, right? Because your wards will be a lot more valuable, so to speak, in an Infernal map.
Like a kid that will give them a valuable toy, they will never let go of it. That's how hard they are grasping this lead that they have right now in this match. And Nova eSports, they have been trying to get it back for themselves, but they find themselves in more trouble. Right now, Dawn's going to be the first target though. Stacy's going to be used, but the other fight is happening right now in the Dragon Play to get the kill onto the Swain. Yami's going to be next. He's going to be in trouble as well. Dawn surviving for so long. The tower is helping him. Hook shot for Yitze. He is going to be fine, but they got 2 kills already here for J-Team.
He's going to get
Dawn's going to be the third. so bad here for Nova Esports. That's just a clean team fight for JT.
GG go next angle for sure. Have to commend Don to it. After buying Black Cleaver, after buying the armor boots, you know what's next? Stacy Ascension. It's not often that you see that on a Renekton that really wants to dominate lane, but J-Team knows that Don needs to do just one thing, and that is to buy enough time. Immediately slices onto the tower range, and just was able to get that stasis in to buy enough time. And this is what I was trying to figure out earlier, right? How did Neon disappear from the map? And it was off of a very good explosive cast. Again, DY only having one loss in the entirety of the tournament on the Gragas is again a revelation by itself. This is, I believe, is the same reason why I thought that, you know, the first two picks should have been Gragas and Camille for Nova.
J-Team just making sure they get their values worth on their picks right now, especially with the lead that they have. The Long, again, not being allowed to play this game. He's just going to be trying to turn the tides around, but it's not going to be possible just yet. Nova Esports. That's the Demonic Ascension dealing lots of damage. Neon with an outplay. 0711 survives, but Corki's going to be next. Yami and Remake trying to make things happen, but there are only two left here in this fight. J-Team still remains standing stronger here.
Yeah, it looked positive for a bit there for Nova Esports, but the reality is numbers advantage still for J-Team. And they don't have a traditional marksman that you can really bank on to carry you on towards the late game. You have enough burst coming from Remake. Neon though, at one point I'm starting to believe that Swain is broken. You looked at that interaction, one stasis and his health almost regen back to half health.
3 bars? Yeah.
True, right? And that's one of the reasons why we are very mindful of Swain, not just in competitive, but also in our ranked games. It definitely is one of those AP mages that can turn, or that can really soak a lot of damage. It kind of reminds me of a Singed, right? Only very improved because you have a very good crowd control. Low econ as well, which means that you only have to buy those items that doesn't really hurt you econ wise. We all know that Rod of Ages and Ryla's Crystal Scepter are two of the cheapest items that we have in the game, and that's the reason why, you know, Swain is busted.
Plus the stasis, right? 3 items, your full build. Nova Esports. That is the way to go. If they want to turn the tides around, they have to work it through Neon. Because he dealt a lot a while ago. But right now, J-Team having full confidence. Immediately flashes were invested just to deny that opportunity.
I forgot to share that the game is already starting, so maybe we can ask the viewers to share on your social media that, hey, you know what, the Icons Global Grand Finals rematch is already happening and is already underway. Oh, Yetzi! Big blunder!
That might be the pick. Mega Inferno Bomb. Stasis to buy some time. Yetzi is still going to be able to fall. What? How is that even possible? But the knockup's going to be there. Neon chasing him out. Finally, the Corki is dead. Piercing arrow onto Yetzi. Good use of the stasis. Neon still going to be dead. Don 1-8 trying to close the distance. Nova Esports, they're happy with the 1-for-1. They don't want any more exchanges because one more casualty, J-Team might actually get something like a Baron.
That's the goal. Nova Esports just needs to slow the game down, give themselves a chance, and knowing that they still have a very decent scaling, looks like that Yami and Yitze is not yet done. They can drop DY and Don 1-8, but it's very risky to do it now. If they ended up losing that team fight, they're in front of the Baron. That's going to be an easy Baron call for J-Team.
Yeah, plus Ocean Dragon's going to be coming up in the next 10-20 seconds. You just can't risk it right now, especially that J-Team knows what to do next in every given situation that they put them through. With the 8,000 goal lead, this is just too risky for Nova Esports. They need a better setup. They need a different approach.
For now, the safest approach, Gyung, is to wait for the Ocean Dragon to show up. And in just a few seconds, I believe it will appear in the map. 3 dragons heading over to J-Team is already going to be the gravestone that is needed by J-Team to really pin down Nova Esports here in game number 2. So yeah, just expect this to be most likely the last fight that will really have the biggest impact in the game, because if Long cannot steal this, that's good night.
Yeah. The coffin is being constructed. The soil is being shoveled right now in the name of Nova eSports. That's the cast for the isolation. Lots of meter entrance being used, but still, J-Team looking to take more damage than Nova eSports. This is a good sign for Nova. They might actually get a chance in stealing this dragon away. It's all up to Long. Took an arrow here from Pan. Is forced a little bit back.
Okay. Just be mindful of the burst.
That's a crescent sweep. No steal gonna be happening through. Still 0711 finds himself with a better jungling objective taking right now. Don Wait being chased away. 0711 might actually fall down. They do get the kill. Stasis to buy some time here for the Swain DY.
Oh, chains of corruption!
Perfect use of the ult on the Varus. Stalls Nova eSports. And they now turn. Neon falling down. It's only Remake remaining alive. But not for long. DY is here. Yetzi as well. Cutting the path of Remake, and that's inevitably going to be the ace plus the steal there by 0711. Perfect team fight by J-Team.
Possibly the game as well. J-Team 4-man strong, double marksman composition. It doesn't matter if they end up, you know, dying here near the Nexus. They already have secured one of the best win conditions in the game, which is a 3 dragon stack. Don 128 will just press the stasis. Ancient, 2 minion waves should be enough. And J-Team answers the doubters with a 1-1 victory.
A decisive win by J-Team. And I have been keeping score on objective takings as well. The score is tied.